Welcome, my friends, to a place where we share inspiration and positivity. Hello and a warm welcome to our channel. Today, we're delving into Raphael Tuck and Sons. Raphael Tuck and Sons was a business started by Raphael Tuck and his wife in Bishopsgate in the City of London in October 1866, selling pictures and greeting cards, and eventually selling postcards, which was their most successful line. Their business was one of the best known in the postcard boom of the late years and early years. During the Blitz, the company headquarters, Raphael House, was destroyed, including the originals for most of their series. The company never fully recovered. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of history and examine its core elements. Raphael Tuck was born in Koszalin, East Prussia on 7 August 1821, worked as a carpenter, and married Ernestine Listener in March 1848. The couple's family of 4 boys and 3 girls were all born in Prussia before they moved to London in 1864 as refugees from the Second Schleswig War. As the family of 7 children grew older, the children provided more help to the business. Raphael sent out his sons, Hermann, Adolf and Gustavi, to bring in more business. Hermann and Adolf also went on selling trips, and at the end of the day they would check the results of the day's work. The one with the higher sales would have the bigger egg next morning for breakfast. 3 of the 4 sons participated in the firm established by their father. Their second son, Adolf, was chairman and managing director of Raphael Tuck and Sons Limited until his death on 3 July 1926, aged 72. He was created a baronet on 19 July 1910. See Tuck Baronets. The Tuck coat of arms features a shield with a flaming antique lamp above which are 2 hands in the attitude of prayer, with 2 crossed F's in a circle at the lower part of the shield. The crest shows a seated lion supporting an artist's palette whereupon is inscribed the work thorough. The Tuck motto inscribed on a ribbon below the shield is Cum Dio, i.e., with God. Raphael Tuck had received training in graphic arts in his home country. Also, although he was not an artist himself, he had a flair for commercial art that prompted his interest in this new field. Upon coming to England, he caught the imagination of the public in such a way that he was able to create a new graphic arts business. He was so successful at it that, according to the Times, he opened up a new field of labor for artists, lithographers, engravers, printers, ink and paste board makers, and several other trade classes. Tuck's continued to run very successful postcard competitions through the early years, with the focus changing to collectors of Tuck postcards rather than of postcards by the artists whose work was depicted. The top part of the 1903 Tuck Exchange Register pictured above announces the second of Tuck's prize competitions, which began in 1900. The prize competitions aroused much interest. The first contest winner turned in a collection of 20,364 cards over the 18-month duration of the contest. The second prize competition winner submitted 25,239 cards. In 1914, the 4th prize competition was announced. The competitions were a novel and effective marketing technique. Although the Tuck firm did some black and white printing in their London offices, the majority of colour work was contracted for in Germany, Raphael's home country. This is evidenced by the wording printed or chromographed in Bavaria or Germany or Saxony inscribed on the majority of the early Tuck postcards. The greatest period of expansion of the Tuck firm came under the direction of Adolf, who had joined his father in 1870. Gustavi and Hermann soon followed their brother in 1871. Adolf became managing director, which included control of the art department. Gustavi directed the book and calendar departments, while Hermann handled the financial end of the business. Raphael Tuck and Sons were pioneers in the creation of movable books, panoramas, and pop-ups during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Known for their high-quality chromolithographed illustrations, the company produced a wide variety of interactive children's books that featured innovative paper engineering. Tuck's movable books included intricate mechanisms such as pull tabs and pop-ups, which brought stories to life for young readers. Their panorama books, often unfolding into long scenic displays, showcased the firm's attention to detail and artistic craftsmanship. Raphael Tuck and Sons became renowned for their contributions to the genre, and their works remain highly collectible today. Raphael House enabled the Tuck firm to consolidate their various offices and departments that had spread throughout various parts of the city. In addition to the administrative offices, the new building provided adequate space for 8 functioning departments: card department, toy books, gift books, booklets, birthday book department, educational department, wall text and scripture motto department, engraving department, chromo, holograph, and art study department, relief and art novelty department, and show card department. These Tuck departments attest to the fact that the Victorian age was the age of printed pictorials that took shape by means of the various printing and engraving processes. An annex to Raphael House, located short distance from the main building, was reported in 1925 to have been completed. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore 1866 through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. Raphael Tuck opened a shop on Union Street, Bishopsgate, now known as Brushfield Street, and began selling pictures and frames. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into 1870 and analyzing its key components. Raphael moved to 177 City Road. His 3 sons joined him as the picture framing and picture side developed into importing and publishing. In the upcoming section, we'll be shining a light on 1871. The company produced their first Christmas greeting card. In this section, we'll be shedding light on 1880 and its impact on our understanding of the subject. New premises were taken at Coleman Street. Son Adolf launched a nationwide contest offering 5,000 guineas in prizes for the best Christmas card designs. Over 5,000 paintings were said to have been entered in the contest. Entries were displayed in the Dudley Galleries and vast crowds visited the exhibition. Over £2,500 was spent in buying entries and launching the Christmas card industry as an annual custom throughout the world. Both amateur and professional artists submitted entries for the close scrutiny of the judges. Literary merit was also considered. The then popular writer Grant Allen served as judge of appropriate texts. Marcus Stone headed a committee of well-known artists in the selection of the designs. Also in this year, the famous trademark was applied for and was finally registered on 2 March 1881. In the following segment, we'll be examining 1882 in greater detail. Paris branch opened. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into 1893 and unraveling its profound impact. Queen Victoria granted the firm the royal warrant of appointment. Tuck cards thereafter bore the message art publishers to Her Majesty the Queen. Future sovereigns continued the warrant of appointment. One trifold card printed in this era was faced with embossed gold gilded lettering and heavy relief embossing of both the flowers and the lettering. Cover of flowers and wording for old acquaintance. It had inscribed inside all good wishes for a happy Christmas and an H.M. Burnside poem. It was designed in the London studio but printed in Germany. Thus preceding and after publishers to Her Majesty the Queen had been awarded. 1893-1912. Let's zoom in on 1895 and understand its implications. On 27 December 1895, the firm was incorporated as a limited company with a registered office at 72 Coleman Street, London. In the same year, they opened a new branch in New York. Raphael's wife Ernestine died and Raphael's own health began to fail. As we progress through this video, let's now turn our gaze towards 1899. Raphael House was opened on 6 July 1899, located between Tenter Street and White Street. Its 5 floors held every department for the existing business. The first experimental Snowden postcard was produced, entitled The View Postcard, showing scenes of London, with an individual number given to each card. In this chapter, we'll be unraveling the enigma of 1900 and discovering its transformative power. Early in the year, the first 45 sets of postcards were ready. They covered the outstanding attractions of London and the River Thames. All these cards had undivided backs, leaving the room to write a message on the front that was only partially covered by the image. Raphael Tuck died on 16 March 1900, aged 78. Adolf and his brothers continued to expand the business after Raphael's death. In July 1900, the first postcard competition was announced. Prizes of £1,000 were offered for the largest collection of Tuck cards sent through post. First prize was awarded to the owner of 20,364 cards, a huge total to collect through the 18-month duration of the contest. Events such as these helped foster the postcard boom. The sons of Adolf Tuck, Reginald and Desmond, continued the business their grandparents had started. With the advent of World War I, they volunteered for military service. In 1910, the Tuck baronetcy was created for Adolf Tuck. He died in 1926 and was succeeded as second baronet by Reginald, his eldest son. Soon after that, Gustavus retired and the business was left in the hands of Sir Reginald and Desmond. As we venture forward, let's examine 1903 in detail and gain a deeper appreciation for its significance. The famous Oilette series was introduced, as well as the Proof series. The Proof series were printed on superior board. Every set was stamped with a consecutive number, and a register was kept of whom the set had been sold to. Richard Fahrenheit. Alcott, the American cartoonist of Buster Brown fame, also produced postcards for the company around this time. With our curiosity piqued, let's embark on a dedicated exploration of 1906 and its fascinating intricacies. Notable artists illustrating sets this year included Lance Thackeray, producing sets such as Amateur Gardening, Society Pets and John Hustle with Humor of Life. Another competition was announced in February, the aim of which was to establish the longest chain. Any public institution could be nominated, and the originator had to get as many as possible to buy a packet of Tuck cards, send one into the institution, and the rest to his friends, telling them to do so as well. Prizes were £1,000 to the institution with the most cards, and £50 to anyone that sent a card to the winning institution. With that being said, let's now move on to 1914. The fourth competition was said to have taken place in March, although there is evidence it was actually not the fourth competition, even though it was called that by Tucks themselves. Only cards passing through the post after 1 January were accepted, and the winner was once again decided by the largest collection. A separate competition was held for children, called Father Tuck's Painting Book Competition, with samples such as those by A. Berard. The child then painted some of the cards in the book, which were perforated for easy removal. The time has come to unravel the secrets behind First and Second World Wars and gain a deeper understanding. During the First World War and the Second World War, a greatly reduced but steady flow of sets of cards continued to be published, with the themes of many cards changing. Titles such as The Call of the Flag and Prisoner of War became more prominent. Moving ahead, let's uncover the hidden gems within 1940 and discover their significance. In the night of 29 December 1940, London was heavily bombed and Raphael House was destroyed. Records of 74 years and 40,000 or more original pictures and photographs by the best artists were in ashes. In spite of having to start over, the company was soon making progress. Let's now shift gears and explore 1950 through a critical lens, uncovering its strengths and weaknesses. After the war, many employees came back, and the company enjoyed success. New headquarters were built in the West End of London. They also built a branch in Northampton. Moving forward, we'll be taking a closer look at 1954. Sir Reginald Tuck died, and his son Bruce inherited the title of baronet, but soon left the company, leaving Desmond Tuck in charge. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of 1959 in this section. Desmond Tuck retired. The company combined with two others to become the British Printing Corporation, renamed British Printing and Communications Corporation in 1982, and finally Maxwell Communications Corporation in 1987, which was originally located only a short distance from where the first shop of Ernestine and Raphael Tuck once stood. Moving on to the next segment, we have examples. Raphael Tuck and Sons, an Egyptian BT file Brig Gen David Henderson Phi Joseph Clayton Clark, Mr. Bumble File Aggrieved Lady Tuck Posted File Emden, and Delft File Smile Tucks Posted Phi Postcard of Poke Place. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more valuable content.